Hello everyone, welcome to William in the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Weslee. Weslee is from Johannesburg in South Africa. So let's see what Weslee has to say. Enjoy the interview.
Yes.
Oh, there you go. I love it. You are in the mood now for a glass of wine.
What time is it in Canada?
Right now in Canada, it's 1:30 in the afternoon.
In the morning? Oh, in the afternoon.
Yeah,
It is, yeah, it's obviously 7:30 at night here on a Thursday evening.
Am I saying your name right, Weslee?
My name is Weslee Lauder. That's correct.
So tell me, how was your day today, Weslee?
My day was great, thank you. I was actually at the Chinese visa application center because I'm going to China in 3 weeks. So I was just at the visa application center sorting out my visa. So that was what it was. And then when I was done with that, I come to visit my friend Andre, and we're having some wine and we're having this chat here at his house. Hello, Andre.
Hello.
Oh, can I see? Can I say hello to him?
He'll come say hello to you.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you, Andre?
William.
Nice to meet you. William.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Let me just
Thanks.
Enjoy
Thanks
the
so
con-
much. Thanks so much for letting Weslee to spend some time with me in the interview now.
Oh.
Thank you.
No problem. No problem. Enjoy. Bye.
Thank you.
Let's go
So
for it.
Weslee, so tell me, where are you from?
I am from Johannesburg, South Africa.
Born and raised?
Born and raised in good old Johannesburg, South Africa.
So tell me, what was the best part of growing up in Johannesburg?
There's a bunch of stuff that I can say that was like really amazing about growing up in Johannesburg, but I can honestly say I really quite like the vibe. And now in hindsight, I'm turning 36. So like when people speak about Johannesburg, I speak about like how fond I am of the people. I find the people are very friendly versus many of the other provinces in South Africa. And yeah, I mean, I grew up in a sort of like a working class area called Newlands in Johannesburg. And yeah, it was great. I had a great upbringing. You know, my mom worked hard, my dad worked hard. It was great.
Amazing. And what do you do for work, for living?
I do a myriad of things, but I am actually a musical theater director, choreographer, and actor. I'm currently, if my mouth is purple, it's because I'm drinking wine. So cheers, everyone.
Cheers. I love it.
It is a Thursday night, and we have this tradition in South Africa. You call it Puza Thursday, which means you drink on a Thursday. So, well, that's what I don't know. I'm probably speaking rubbish. Anyway, so I'm a musical theater. I'm actually musical theater trained, and I also direct and choreograph musicals and theater shows and events around South Africa. And I'm currently performing in the international touring production of Matilda, which just actually closed on Monday in Dubai.
Wow, amazing. Well, I've seen already the poster of Matilda in London, actually. I've seen it. Yeah, it's amazing.
Wonderful.
All right, so during the game, I'm going to explore a little bit more about your life and also about your point of views, okay?
Okay.
So before we start our journey, Will in the Magic Box, I'd like to tell me something interesting about yourself.
Do you want something like dramatic, or what do you want? That's the question, because I could tell you many things. But...
What's the first one that comes to your mind?
I have 2 tattoos.
Okay.
I want more, but I'm apprehensive to get because being an actor, I'm worried that if I get too many tattoos, I'll become uncastable. But that's also a bullshit story. Sorry, I swear, am I allowed to?
It's okay, but beep.
You can do that or not. I mean, also a bullshit story because if you get cast in something and they really want you because of your talent, they'll cover your tattoos up.
So tell me, what's the meaning behind your tattoo?
The first one I got, I was very young. I was 19 years old. I got a little bit drunk with my friend and I said, let's go get tattoos. And he said, okay, cool. And we went and I said, I didn't know what I want. So the truth behind it was put the word "the" on my arm, and they did. Now the tattoo is actually quite wonderful because it's like a conversation starter. You know, if people see it, they're like, what does it mean? And then we talk about it a bit, and then, you know, it's sort of like from there turns into quite a interesting conversation, and you get to meet people and talk to people about interesting things. And then my second one, I was 21 with my friend Vicky, and she said to me, "Let's go get tattoos." And at that stage, I was and still am a big Lady Gaga fan, and she had a tattoo of a peace sign on her wrist, and I was like, I want a peace sign. So we both got peace signs. I got one on my arm, and she got one on her nether regions.
Amazing, very good. Weslee, are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and share your point of views?
Go on.
Amazing. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. So this is my best friend. From the fun questions. I'm just gonna play a song now just for us to relax a bit before the first question, okay?
Go on.
Let's do it. Okay, Weslee, before we start the game, during the join, if it comes up a question that you don't want to talk about for some reason you don't want to answer, always can change, okay?
Okay.
Amazing. First question for you is, what is your favorite guilty pleasure TV show?
Teen Wolf. That's so random, I know, but I've actually been watching it like religiously. And over the last couple of months, Teen Wolf is my favorite guilty pleasure because also, and no offense to the people who have created it, because obviously it did well enough to have like 6-7 seasons or whatever they had and a movie. But you know, it's not the best, but it's guilty pleasure because I really enjoy watching it.
And what is about?
It is about a boy who one day discovers that he's a werewolf, and then in this town, and then sort of like, you know, how he navigates being in high school and being a werewolf and meeting all of these people who are wolves, and in a town that is very sort of like, you know, supernatural, etc., and how they manage to fight the good fight to sort of like destigmatize supernaturalism.
Amazing. Very good. Next question.
Go on.
Yes, you can always dance with me. Next question is, I think this is going to be easy because you already said that. Let's see. Who is your biggest idol and what have you learned with this person?
Oh, wow. That's really difficult because, you know, I must admit that I go through moments in my life where different people inspire me. So to say that there's one person in the world that is the person that inspires me the most, I think would be a little bit juvenile, to be very honest with you, because to me personally, I think that you need to open yourself up to being inspired by many different things in the world. And depending on where you are in your life, what things you're going through, certain things will make more sense to you and certain things will inspire you more than other things. So I think to say that there's one person that is the biggest icon to me, I think would be a little bit unseen. Like right now, tonight I started watching the David Beckham documentary, and I'm like, wow, what a brilliant life. That's such an amazing thing. And the things that he did, and it just goes to show you that hard work and focus on a craft can definitely work in your favor. So, you know, that's what I learned about him and soccer and from him. So that's my feelings on icons, etc.
And for you growing up, being an actor, involved in the theater, who was your biggest person that you go like, okay, that's something I'd like to be inspired for, some person that you always been connected with growing up?
There's a bunch of directors that I've sort of been inspired by, and there's a bunch of musical writers that I've been inspired by. There's a bunch of playwrights I've been inspired by, and all of them, as I say, all of them have had their own sort of like their own visions and stuff that really speak to me. So I think it would be, like I say to you, it would be definitely excuse me, a little bit difficult for me to really just name one. And like everyone, I probably would name, Stephen Sondheim, or, someone to that effect, because they had against the grain, they created really interesting pieces of art, and those interesting pieces of art meant that it sort of changed musical theater in a lot of times. But I think from a directing perspective, there would probably be one director that I really love. He's an American director. His name is Michael Meyer. And I want to say, like, from in the theater realm, he's probably one director that really inspires me, because I really just enjoy his vision. And he's also directed a bunch of shows that I really love, and shows that really speak to me, like Spring Awakening, the newest version of Funny Girl, I could be very wrong, Head Over Heels, Hedwig and the Angry Inch, American Idiot, Everyday Rapture. So these are like musicals that I really love and whatever. And I really enjoy his directing vision through those shows.
Amazing. All right. Next question. Let's do it.
Go on.
Oh, wow. I love that. Follow it. Weslee, before the next question, tell me what's the biggest joy of being a musical theater director? What's the biggest joy of it? And the flip side, what do you find most challenging?
It's gonna sound like I'm incredibly indecisive, but I'm not. I just think that, like, you know, to say the biggest joy, I don't know. There's so many things that I love so much about it. But I can honestly say that I think the most wonderful thing is the applause right at the end. Is that, you know, a bunch of people are clapping and it's an opportunity for them to say thank you for the work that we put on the stage. And, you know, I like clapping back at the end to say thank you to them. And you know, for coming and enjoying the production with me. So I think the applause is really wonderful. Something that maybe on the flip side, a really difficulty for me is that especially in South Africa, musical theater isn't something that is it's not as what's the right word? It's not as appreciated and well respected as America or, you know, or England on the West End, Broadway, or elsewhere in the world. And I think that's a real big downfall for me, because I think that the opportunities in South Africa for musical theater performers way thin versus everywhere else in the world.
I see. All right. Next question is, what your ideal life look like?
My ideal life, doing it right now.
Oh,
Drinking wine, listening to music, eating pizza isn't my ideal life. It's definitely part of my ideal life. I think, you know, to say my ideal life is, again, something that I think is just, it would be a little bit young of me to try and say that these are the things that I want to do for the rest of my life and it makes it ideal. You change, you grow up. And when you grow up, having a Porsche isn't what you want anymore. Sometimes what you want is to have a house. Sometimes that house has 5 bedrooms and 16 children, or it is just a single flat with 14 cats, or it is the house with, you know, 3 dogs. Those things change. So yeah. I think my ideal life, or the idea of an idyllic life, would be the idea that I'm comfortable and happy, and wherever that is because of that.
All right.
Okay.
When you analyze yourself, Weslee, when you think about you, what's the best part of being Weslee? What's the best part of being you?
I think it's because the best part about being me,
yeah,
get things done. I was about to say, I think I'm a real good problem solver, and I get things done, and I do it because I love people, and not because of anything else other than I see the value in helping people.
Yeah. And you're always being very spontaneous, like we have this positive attitude, being approachable. You're always being this way?
Yes, I've always been approachable. I've always been spontaneous. I always live spontaneously, and I always try and have a good time. I think on the hindsight, like in the back end of that, or on the opposite end of that, I think a lot of people think that I'm just fun loving, and they find the fun loving is a reason why they can't take me too seriously, which is not the truth. So, you know, I don't know if I'm speaking out of turn now, because I'm a spontaneous person. I'm fun loving. I like having a good time, because the world is a terrible place, William. And if you don't live your life to the fullest, then what's the point?
Totally.
Do you know what I mean? So that's what and you know, and just taking it back to the idea that, you know, maybe some people don't take me seriously, is because I think a lot of the time you look at someone and you go, oh no, he's just a party animal. Oh no, he just wants to have fun. And that's not necessarily the case. I want to have fun. I take life very seriously, but I don't take it so seriously that I can't enjoy this very little time of life, you know, I have on this earth. So that's sort of how I feel about it.
Good. Very good. Good for you. Next one. Next question. Right. If you were to raise a child, what are the most important things would you like them to learn?
I wouldn't raise a child.
Love your honesty.
What am I supposed to do? I'm not going to lie to you.
Of course, absolutely.
Exactly. And I mean, must I explain why?
Please.
This is a very controversial opinion,
Okay.
but it is an opinion that I believe. First of all, the world is overpopulated.
Mhm.
And I do believe, to a certain extent, a lot of people who have many children, it is something that they can control. And the overpopulated world is contributing to a world that is dying. Look at the, global warming, all of these diseases that are happening. The Mother Nature is too heavy. She's imploding, and I just think that the earth is not, it's not handling it. And I don't think it's clever for us to be raising kids in a world where people are bombing each other, where there's horrible disease, where, for instance, the South African economy is like, on its downfall, and it has been for so many years. And would I want to raise a kid in a world where there's really, really, really shitty things that are happening? No, I don't. And I don't think a child deserves that. What a child deserves is happiness and love and a supported upbringing. And if I can't give that to them, then I think childbirth is selfish. If I can't give that to the person, then childbirth is selfish.
Love your answer. And I'll tell you something, Weslee. I had a few guests on the show, they're parenting, and they told me, William, I'm scared about my children, the future of their lives, So it makes all sense what you're saying right now, because again, they didn't ask to come to this world, and they are here now. And, and the world is upside down, as you can see happening right now. It's quite sad to see a lot of things happening in the world right now. So yeah, thanks for your answer. I love it.
I think that's also, it's important to recognize that. So the idea is that they didn't ask to be brought into this world, but what you can do is control whether or not you're going to. And I'm not speaking about abortion. I'm not speaking about any of that stuff. But what I'm speaking about is, whether or not you're going to reproduce. You can control whether you, as a man, can reproduce.
And there are so many couples like that they literally they think this way. They are aware, and they are literally living, without children, and don't have children because they don't know what's, the situation they were right now. So yeah. Ready for another question?
Go on.
Let's do it. Next one. Right, before the next question, as you mentioned at the beginning of the interview about, being an artist, like in the theater industry, is quite hard in South Africa. Tell me, Johannesburg and Cape Town, they are the places where, people, they still can have some, they can go to the theater, they can have a great time, they can appreciate the arts, in South Africa?
Yes. It's not that it's a dying form. It's not at all. But the idea is that it's not as well appreciated as other forms of expression in South Africa. Mm-hmm. Sport is probably the most revered extramural activity. I mean, sport, it's not an extramural activity, it's a profession. But I mean, the idea is that because we excel at sport, rugby, cricket, other sports, swimming, at the Olympics, things like that, it's something that's revered by people. But art is not something as revered, and it's something that's definitely, it's a bit sad, but yeah, that's the truth. However, you can go to the theater in Johannesburg and in Cape Town, and also in other parts of South Africa. The only difference is that Johannesburg and Cape Town are the sort of hubs of South Africa.
Next question is, what is something you wish you could do every single day? What? Andrea said something I couldn't hear?
No, you don't want to hear what he said. I wish I could wake up and go to CrossFit every morning. But I can't. What do I wish I could do every single day? Not work. These are such stupid answers, but I mean, it's really difficult because I've never thought about it. I've never thought, okay, cool, what could I do for the rest of my life every single day except to be a bum? You know what I mean? Like just lie on the couch and watch TV. Except nothing, you know. And it's a problem for me because I'm a busybody. I want to do things and get crazy. But you know what I love doing? I love gardening. But I don't know if gardening, I love DIY, I love like, but you see, that also adds to the idea of not having to work. So maybe the idea is one thing I can do every day is know that there is millions in my bank account. I wouldn't have to worry about working. That is a stupid thing to say.
Whatever comes to your mind, they're not right or wrong.
Okay.
Amazing. 3 questions left. Let's do it.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Wow. Next question is,
yeah.
what do you like the most about your best friends?
They're my best friends. That's what I love the most about them. Oh God. That there is a very innate understanding between us. And I think that that's really beautiful when you have understanding with people where you don't have to worry. And I'm very sure that there are many people in the world who can agree. You don't have to worry about having to speak to them, but you could just be in the room with them and know that there's an understanding. And that's what I love so much about my friends.
Wow. And they are based in Johannesburg, most of your best friends?
I've got a bunch of friends. I mean, you know, they're based all over the world. I mean, yeah, with Andre in Johannesburg, I've got, you know, Kent and Reg, they're in Johannesburg, but I've also got friends that are in Norway, Cape Town, people all across the world that I really just connect with. And that's what's wonderful.
Amazing. 2 questions left. Let's
go on.
You are a good dancer, I can see. Tell me how is being gay in Johannesburg? And the other part of the question is, how was for you growing up as a gay boy?
I came out of the closet when I was in my teens. So I'm sort of going to answer like that. I came out of the closet when I was in my teens. I was also very lucky that I went to a school where being gay was something that was empowering. It was, they wanted you to express yourself in any way possible. And that was really wonderful. I went to an art school and I studied drama. So the idea that you could explore your sexuality in a safe environment, was something that I think was incredibly empowering, which, you know, helped me come out. But also at the end of the day, I said to my mom when, you know, a couple of years ago, I said, but how did you not know that I was gay? She was like, my boy, I always knew. You know, I was just waiting for you to say it. I was like, okay, cool. So, you know, growing up gay, was I bullied? Yes, I was, hellishly, because also we come from a country where 64% of the country still identifies homosexuality as a moral sin. So, you know, even though our constitution is so incredibly advanced and the constitution states that people can live their lives freely, there are still a lot of people who have opinions about homosexuality. So did I grow up being bullied? Yes, I did. Was there a lot of bullying? Yes, there was, but it never put me, you know, it was part of my, it was, you know, it's part of how I grew up. And then being gay in Johannesburg is wonderful. I think like any other city in the world, even where there's cities like, you know, Istanbul or Dubai for that reason, maybe I don't know if you want to be, you know, add those specific names to this, you know, but, you know, there are cities in the world where homosexuality is frowned upon, but there is a very big community that explores homosexuality with friends and they do wonderful things. And also, let me just try that again, my phone just rang. You know, so the idea is that there are like cities across the world where homosexuality, look, it's never going to change. So the idea is that you want to, you know, I was in a city recently where homosexuality is, you're imprisoned, and it was thriving. There were gay bars, there were, you know, there were a bunch of gay people on the yellow Facebook. There was a bunch of, you know, gay people, there was gay conversation happening. So what was wonderful is that the city basically, you know, I want to say they turned a blind eye. I think in this day and age, it's very, very, very difficult to not acknowledge human beings for that specific thing. And I think it's a fight that the world is going to have for a very long time. And our opinion right now is never going to change it. But, you know, I can say safely that I've experienced cities where homosexuality is wrong in these cities' eyes. But there are communities of people that love each other and work well with each other and empower each other to sort of live a safe life and a happy life and a life where they can be who they want to be and be who they are. So Johannesburg is wonderful in that regard. It's, you know, they especially Cape Town, which is hailed one of the gay capitals of the world. But I love Joburg very much. I love Joburg a lot. I love the people. I love where I stay, and I find that Johannesburg is sort of like, you know, they call it the city of gold, and I think it's because there's this constant idea that, you know, there's something more. There's always something more, and, you know, being gay in Joburg is the same idea. You know, when you I don't know, when you experience the world, there's always something more. And your identity has got nothing to do with your dreams.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. Next question is, which book had a big influence on you?
The Bible.
I love you. You're so funny.
Excuse me, I just got better from it. My thing was flu. The book that had the biggest impact on me. Oh my God, that's a difficult one. Oh,
When you
what?
laugh still, I'm still laughing about your answer.
The Bible. That's a difficult one. I mean, you know, all books have an impact, don't they? I can tell you the most recent book that I had read that had quite a really big impact was The Fault in Our Stars. Is that a John Green book? I think it is. Anyway, yeah, I went to go and watch it with my very, very, very good friend Kenneth, and he's this straight man. He's engaged to a woman, but he and I have such a wonderful relationship. I really love him. And we went to go and watch it together on a little bit of a movie date night. And the both of us, we were chanting like large tears. And then I was like, okay, cool, let me read the book. So then I read the book, and it really was quite magnificent. I really enjoyed it. It was touching, and I really enjoyed it. But now I'm busy reading, or trying to finish reading, The Curious Incident of a Dog in the Nighttime. I don't know if you know that one. That's really quite wonderful. It's about this autistic boy, this boy on the spectrum who goes on this investigation to find out who killed the neighbor's dog. But what comes out is so much more than just finding out who the murderer was. It's really wonderful. Yeah.
Great. Ready for the last question?
Go for it.
Last one. Let's do it. But before the last question, through your career, tell me a moment or a situation or something that happened to you that you're never going to forget. It's always going to have a special place in your heart.
There's a bunch of things, William. You're asking me these questions. I can't pinpoint them, you know. There's a bunch of things that were really wonderful, and like off the top of my head, like in 2015, I went to Broadway and I watched Matilda the musical, and I was like, oh my God, I have to be in the show. 3 years later, I got in. That's really special. You know what I mean? Another, you know, there's bunches of special moments that have happened to me. I think that, you know, putting on my first production and watching it on stage and going, oh my gosh, that just happened. I'll never forget that, you know? You know, a bunch of stuff. Being in my first ever sitcom, you know, that spanned over 3 seasons. That was something so incredibly special. You know, so to say that one thing, you know, really, really sticks with me, I think it's not cool, because I want to cherish it all. You know, I want to cherish it all, and I try my best to. Yeah.
Beautiful. Right, so then yet, let's play now the word association game. Okay, I'm going to give away some words. Just tell one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking. Okay. Let's start with money.
Rich.
Family.
Love.
One word for life.
Live it. Well, let's make it one word.
Tax.
Tax.
Tax, yeah.
Oh, that's the word. It's just a sound. Oh.
Oh, one word for love.
Stunning.
Politics.
Important.
Religion.
Important.
One word for friendship.
Important.
Desire.
One word for desire. The first word that comes to my mind. Yes.
Okay. Regret.
I've had a few.
Success.
Consistency.
Amazing. Wish.
Dreams.
Happiness.
Wonderful.
One word for Johannesburg.
Fabulous.
I thought you'd take something from your pocket. I was like, oh my God, what's he gonna...
Oh no, I'm busy. I did take something from my pocket, but it's gone now, yeah?
I see it. One word for South Africa.
Amazing.
One word for Nelson Mandela.
Cherished.
And the last one now. Music theater. One word.
Huge.
Amazing. Okay, let's pretend now I'm going to meet Andrea. Andrea, come in. Can you come here? Andrea, come here. Let's
He
get
wants to ask you a question, my darling.
right.
I'm trying to type a WhatsApp to a friend of mine.
Andrea, let's pretend now I'm going to go all the way to Johannesburg to meet you for a coffee, yeah? And I'm going to ask you, what is the most beautiful thing about him? And what's something that he still needs to work on, to improve on? Weslee, what would you say?
What's the most beautiful thing about me, and what's the one thing I can do?
Well, firstly, I think in any true friendships, there's firstly a true connection. You know, it's not superficial, and the connection is either there or it is not. And with Weslee, it's his reliability.
Oh. And what he needs
Very
to work on?
reliable.
Something negative about him that he
Work
needs.
on, he needs to work on growing his hair.
Can you see some improvement? Can you see some improvement?
No.
Improvement. Lots of things, but those things are intimate, you know, they're not for the public.
Great answer. I love it.
Yes.
Thanks, Andrea.
We'll discuss it in private.
Thank you so much for coming to the show, okay? Thank you.
Go well.
Right, so let's play now Weslee and the Magic Box, and you can ask me a question. But before that, let's play the music one more time. Let's do it.
Okay.
Right, but before you ask me the question, what's your favorite African word?
Puss.
Which means?
Cat in Dutch.
Which means a cat in Dutch. But
Okay.
but in our language, actually, I did a video on my Instagram, and it went viral where I used that word. So I'll leave that to your imagination.
All right, I'll check it out. I'm curious now. You can ask me a question now, Weslee.
How do you feel about what's your definition of love?
Good question. Good question. The first thing that comes to my mind about love, it's two words. The first one is acceptance. Yeah, accepting people the way they are, whatever it could be. I think when you accept someone, I think that's when the love it's about acceptance and respect as well. Because respecting someone, I think there's such a kind gesture of love that can start from there. Because I think when you accept someone for whatever they are, whatever they feel, whatever they express themselves, for me, that's what love means. Because, you know, it starts from there. And if you accept people who they are or whatever they feel like, I think you can love those people and you can be loved as well. So I think for me, love, it's about acceptance. It could be any direction, you know, your partner, your friend, your brother, your sister, your community, your country, you know, anything that you accept and respect, it's a big gesture of love. And it starts from there. Smiling, it's a big gesture of, you know, connecting with love as well. So yeah, that's for me the biggest definition of love.
Amazing.
And,
And are you a homosexual, William?
yes, I'm gay, absolutely.
Do you have a
Yes.
boyfriend?
I'm single. My ex-boyfriend is from Cape Town.
Well, your newest boyfriend is from Joburg, so.
Hey, I'm changing now. I'm going to another direction. Cheers. Where's the wine? Cheers.
There we go. Hey.
Cheers. Thank you so much. Did you enjoy the interview, Weslee?
Likewise, thank you so much for reaching out. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for being so sweet and bring your joy and your happiness, your genuine happiness to the show. Amazing connect with you. But before you go, if you can share a positive message or anything that you live by.
I live by many things, but also one thing, like I said, I'm gonna swear. I'm like, don't be kind.
Amazing. Very good.
Kind. And also don't drink and drive, folks. Don't drink and drive.
Thank you, Andrea. Thanks for being part of the show as well.
You must talk to me. I'm very interesting.
Yeah, you will speak to Andre. He's very interesting. He'll give you lots of content.
Thank you so much. And you keep in touch. It was a pleasure. Have a nice evening, okay? Thank you
so much. And edit it nicely, hey? I'm coming to Canada to sort you out, mister.
You're my new boyfriend now, so you need to have a good time.
Exactly. I accept you, but I don't accept bad editing. That's what I don't have to accept.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Take care.
Bye.
So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, to share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why you'd like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye-bye. See you next time.